Oh, I'm being arrested, TJ.
Sometimes people think they're too important to get in trouble,
Within 30 seconds, you grabbed my arm.
even when they do something bad.
It was a Coke.
This is a story about a man who believed that, because of who he was, the police couldn't arrest him.
Arresting you at the state legislature.
You can't
or going to or
detain me.
from.
Here's what happened when a man had too many drinks and found out that the police don't care who you are when you break the law. Dean Davis was a famous person in his town. Everyone knew him because he worked in the local government. He was the kind of person who would wave at you on the street and always had time for a quick talk. People respected him for his dedication to the community. But one weekend night, something unexpected happened. It started as a regular evening. Dean was having a good time talking with people he knew and enjoying the lively atmosphere of the bar. But as the night went on, things took a turn. Without realizing it, Dean found himself in the middle of a situation that was against the law. The night was almost over, and it was a little after 2 a.m. There is a special rule. This rule says that bars are not allowed to give people alcohol after a certain time, which is usually around 2 a.m. The reason for this rule is to keep everyone safe. But Dean Davis was still sitting outside on the patio of the bar. They decided they needed to talk to him. This was a big deal because Dean worked for the government and was supposed to set a good example for everyone else in the town. They explained to him that the bar was not supposed to serve drinks after 2 a.m.
Any weapons on you?
They also told him that as someone who worked in the government, he should be extra careful to follow all the rules. Dean was surprised and a bit embarrassed. He hadn't realized that it was past 2 a.m. He thought he was just having a nice time and didn't mean to break any rules.
You've been given ample opportunity.
I was walking
But
away.
then you want to tell me about how you're a state representative
No,
and that we're going to
he
have this
did.
conversation
He
tomorrow.
did.
And then you want to flap so bad.
Sir, he did.
The guy that's recording?
The police were doing their job, and he knew he had to respect the law. They explained to Dean that he was not following the law because he was drinking after the time when it was allowed. When Dean heard he was doing something wrong, he was surprised. He quickly took a special card out of his wallet and showed it to the police officers. Dean explained to the officers that this card was something special he had because of his job in the legislature.
First of all, you cannot detain me right now.
Wait, yes, absolutely
we
we can,
can.
sir.
Yeah, we will.
Hey, TJ, they said that they can detain me right now.
You're not being detained, you're being arrested.
Oh, I'm being arrested, TJ.
He told them that this card gave him certain privileges. He believed that because of this card, he couldn't be arrested during times when the legislature was meeting or when he was traveling to these meetings.
On the back side of my phone, please. Not on the back, right there. Pull out the card right there
Yeah,
and call your sergeant.
okay. I am a sergeant.
No, your leading officer before you take anywhere. Read the back of that card. Read it. What state law says.
Okay.
He believed it meant that the rules about drinking after a certain time didn't apply to him. He was hoping that showing the card to the officers would make everything okay and that they would let him continue with his night.
Okay, well, so the privileges, arrests, speeches, or debates, senators and representatives shall, except for treason, felony, or breach of peace, be privileged from arrest during the session of the legislature,
Correct.
and in going to and returning from the same,
Correct.
and for any speech or debate in either house or shall not be questioned in any other place.
Correct.
This kind of protection is there for a good reason. It's supposed to make sure that lawmakers can do their jobs without being scared that they might be arrested for something related to politics. Dean was confused about what this protection meant. He thought it gave him a kind of shield against all types of arrest, no matter what. This is where he made a mistake.
Fine. Call your advisor. Call everyone. Hey, TJ.
TJ's, I don't answer to TJ.
No, you don't have to, but
So
they're going to
if you-
call
if
your
you,
advisor.
If you, instead of talking, if you'll listen for just a minute, okay? So at this point right now, the way I'm reading it, I'm not arresting you at the state legislature
You can't
or going to or
detain
from.
me.
I can, and I am right now. So have a seat, and I will run it past my supervisor.
You will.
These special rules for lawmakers don't mean they can do anything they want and not get in trouble. They are not a magic shield that stops all arrests. Instead, they are there to protect lawmakers from being arrested for things that are directly connected to their job of making laws. But if they do something that has nothing to do with making laws, like breaking a rule about when you can drink, these protections don't apply. So, when Dean showed his special card to the police officers, he was using it in the wrong way. He thought it would keep him from getting in trouble for drinking after the allowed time.
You're remaining at a business that is supposed to be closed, and you're already obviously intoxicated. Have a seat. Put your feet in.
This misunderstanding put Dean at a difficult point with the police officers, who had to decide how to handle the situation. They respectfully disagreed with Davis's interpretation of his legal protections. To ensure they were proceeding correctly, one of the officers made a call to a superior officer to confirm. The superior officer agreed with the on-scene officer's assessment. Davis could indeed be arrested for violating the local alcohol laws regardless of his legislative role. As Davis was escorted to the police car, he continued to protest, insisting that he was not drunk.
All you want to do is just try to twist words. It's
I'm
okay.
not twisting words, because you
that's
cannot
exactly what you're
pull
doing.
anything out of my pocket and show you even my phone or ID without having to put something down.
All you had to do is set your beer down and
I
walk away.
did.
After 2 or 3 different warnings, and then you wanted to tell us who you were, or
No, he did.
You did as well. And
He
you wanted
did.
and tell us about how threatening us with our jobs.
I did
how
not
we're
do
gonna
that.
hear about
He
it
did.
next
I
month.
sat there and it's like, listen, guys.
Who was the first one to flip out their badge? You.
I flipped open my phone to make a phone
No,
call.
You did. You flipped it open. You're going to hear about this tomorrow.
Well, no, he said that. I didn't
You
say
did,
that.
Mr. Davis.
I did not say that. He did.
It's okay. It's all on body cam.
He claimed that the substance in his cup was just Coca-Cola, not alcohol. The officers proceeded with the arrest, charging him with public drunkenness.
What was I drinking?
Alcohol.
No, how do you know that? Because it was a Coke.
Okay, dude. Again, stop with your attorney stuff. You can
It's
question
not.
me. You
No,
can
I'm
question
being
me.
very serious right
You can
now.
question me in court.
How am I being detained?
You're not being detained. You're arrested.
Exactly.
And I don't know how many more times I need to explain to you that yes, you are.
I didn't
being
have
arrested.
alcohol in my cup. It was a Coke. And you and I have had a conversation. So please tell me what's truly going on.
The police took him to the local police station. At the station, they did some standard things that they do with everyone who gets arrested. This includes things like writing down his name and why he was arrested, and maybe taking his photograph. Once they finished all these necessary steps, they let Dean go home. But even though Dean was allowed to go home, his problems were not over. By the time Monday came around, a lot of people had heard about what happened. Mara Montalbano, who works for Inside Edition Digital, told the story of what happened to Dean Davis.
Disbelief as a state lawmaker in Oklahoma is arrested for allegedly being drunk in public. According to an arrest report, State Representative Dean Davis was seen by officers drinking on the patio of a bar after 2 a.m., which is against the law. But Davis didn't seem to think he could be arrested because of his job.
She talked about his arrest. Her report helps us understand more about what it's like to be a public figure. It shows us that even government officials have to be careful about the rules, and that they don't get special treatment when it comes to local laws. This experience was a reminder that he has to follow the same rules as everyone else.
I dispute any wrongdoing. However, I do want to take this opportunity to apologize to this body for creating this unnecessary distraction.
At last, we've seen how serious things can get when someone breaks the law. This story helps us understand about how important it is to follow the law no matter who you are. We'd love to hear your thoughts on these matters. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.